Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. IronRealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
Good morning, good morning. We talk the whole night through. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Beautiful information comes from random people on the internet. Cami thinks the internet, the earth is flat. It's like school. And
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. What? There is no dark matter out there. We need to dig really hard.
OTGIW. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to the IRONWORX. Unless this is your first time here, then welcome for the first time. I just suspect there's not many people first-time listeners coming in this morning. But that's all right. We got the full house here today, which I always like to see. Good morning, gentlemen. How in the hell are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing great. I just had a bite of bread in my mouth. I have some banana bread going here. Sorry.
Oh, shit. And I was muted. My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, doing all right. Oh, give me 1 sec.
You take your time. Matter of fact, take a couple hours if you need.
Right?
Yeah, I've had 0 coffee yet.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's another little thing that's been happening on my little adventure of late. I've kind of stopped doing the coffee thing. Now, when I say that, every now and again, I'll decide to make myself one, or we'll be in town and there's this new whole, I'm sorry, excuse me. There's this new thing we've discovered, Vietnamese coffee. Anyone?
No.
Okay. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. So what they do is there's this huge, hugely overdone, strong ass coffee, cold brew mix, concentrate, whatever you call it, that they place in a glass with some ice in it, cup, whatever. Then they top that, that's only about half full, the glass only half full. And then they top that with this foam, cream, sweetener stuff that has various, it's got a little condensed milk, it's got a little of some kind of sweetening, like a honey that's from their country, and then there's maybe some kind of leaf that's a sweet leaf that goes in it, in that foam that sits on top of your coffee, and then they close it off with like one of those paper sealed tops that you then poke your straw through when you're ready to drink it. And if you're so inclined and you like to chew on shit while you're drinking, you could get boba down in the bottom of it. I don't like chewing on shit when I'm drinking stuff, so I've never been a fan of boba or the jellies or any of that stuff. But you take your cup before you punch your straw in it, and you shake the hell out of it. So you mix all that cream and all that coffee together, and it is super strong yet super sweet, and has a really nice kick to it. And it's just something totally different that I have yet to be able to recreate. You can also get it with this green foam on top that they call pandan, Pandan, and it's like a leaf as well that's got a coconutty sweetness to it. And they use that in the foam. They also make cakes and different little, like they even have a pandan brulee they make. It's like a creme brulee, but it's a pandan brulee they'll do for you there, which I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, if there's a Vietnamese coffee place near you, tell them Walt sent you. No, it's really good stuff. We've been really surprised by how good it is. And that's been probably the only coffee I've drank over the last week and a half or so, is those few here and there. I don't know. It's just lost its appeal for now. I go through this once every couple of years, where at most I'll drink one a week or whatever, just to kind of, I don't know, recharge on it, you know, get that vibration going again when you drink it. But yeah, definitely, it's definitely been a little different getting up without coffee. But I drink some tea and I'm good to go as far as the caffeine, it seems. I didn't have a headache yet. Not really. I mean, I may have had one day or two here or there and yonder, but not like the usual, oh, I quit drinking caffeine, I'm going to die now.
Man, it's good having you back, Walter.
Good being back. I missed you guys terribly. Missed all you guys terribly. I'm going to make it over there to the chat and start typing here in a second. I've just had my hands full of banana bread.
Michelle hanging in.
She's good. You know, I mean, sad, of course, but I think a lot of relief of just not having to see your mom suffer anymore, you know, because it was really not fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely has been an adventure, though, emotionally and everything else. The good thing is, like, probably, for me personally, probably 2 days, I guess. Let me think. She passed New Year's Eve. So, yeah, probably 2 days before that, we were at the, it could have been the day before. I don't know. It's all kind of a blur because I haven't slept at all, it feels like. But, through all this, I mean, but they had, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was actually the day of Christmas we were there. Yeah, we went over there Christmas Day. That's what it was. See, again, my brain ain't working great. And they had given them in the rehab center, they had passed out like little present boxes full of little knick-knacky things, little candles shaped like Christmas trees, and little the books to read on, and little hanging things, you know, Christmas oriented stuff. But in that box was a little joke book, puns, jokes. And so we sat there and she read puns to us, me and Michelle and her sister. And we all were giggling like a bunch of school kids. It was great. It was the best memory for me to have as my last time with Marilyn, for sure.
Bet you enjoyed that too.
Oh yeah, she was glowing. She was having so much fun, making us laugh, being silly. So yeah, that was great. That was great. I found myself.
So you heard that we kidnapped the president?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
I had no insulation from any of the worldly crap during all this because her sister and their family have all become enmeshed in the game and the show and can't separate themselves from it, and the fact that it is a game and a show, and so they get irate and they get upset and they make sure and let us know, did you know blah 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 happened? All irate and upset, and I go, oh really? Cool. It's a great season this year. Good show. Because me and Michelle have repeatedly let all of them, especially her sister, who just keeps going on about those things when we go off doing the garage sales and stuff with her. It's like, okay, look, we don't watch it. We don't care. It doesn't affect us. How do you say it doesn't affect you? Because we don't let it like you do.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You don't see us all irate and upset daily, all the time, 24 hours about it. It's like, okay, so, let's stop talking about it. That's pretty much how we handle it now with her. We tried to placate and play along and get into the conversation a bit to try to steer her into realizing that it's all just a show to make you upset.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave up. We were like, yeah, it's not going to happen. So we don't want to hear about it. But we still do. And we just laugh and move on. I also know that, didn't he talk about something about them probably a year ago? She was saying, or one of the cousins, one of the nieces was talking about it and how he went back on what he said. And yeah, that's all kind of craziness.
He said, we're not going to do a regime change. We're not into regime change and
right there it is.
Removing dictators and stuff like that.
That was it. Yeah, that's what she was going on about. And don't get me wrong, they're all up on it. They know what's happening with it all. They definitely got the play-by-play.
Somebody wanted that $24 million bounty on the guy's head.
It was 50.
Was it 50 now?
Yeah, Biden raised it $25 million when he was president.
So what was this dude giving out free health care and everybody had a gold bar in their quilt? And what was his thing he did that they didn't want him doing?
Yeah, he tried being a socialist guy, and I'm pretty sure wasn't he trying to get rid of his Federal Reserve or whatever?
There you go. That pretty much sealed it. That's all you needed to say.
Because Venezuela used to be before they went socialist or communist or whatever, they were huge. They have the most gold in their ground and the most oil, allegedly. But yeah, their economy was awesome. But see, I was thinking about this. It's like every time a country turns communist or whatever, right? We embargo the shit out of them, along with all of our buddies. So, could communism work? I know it never has. But is it the outside influence that's the tipping point that makes it so it doesn't work? I don't know. It just dawned on me, every time a country like Cuba, when they would, embargoes. Nobody's allowed to trade with Cuba now. Well, that'll kill a country right there. I don't know.
I think there was a lot of typical communist socialist programs going on. So because of that, people die. Lots of people die.
Yeah.
What we need to do is take over all the farms. Everybody needs to have the same amount of food. Nobody's going to go hungry if we take over the farms, get rid of all the farmers, and then not know what the fuck we're doing. Pretty soon food production stops and people starve. Well, that's just the nature of communism, though. Seems to be. I don't know that was due to outside influence rather than it was like one of the planks of communism. I don't know that it would ever.
Yeah, government and control of everything just wouldn't be good. It just couldn't be good. Seems like everything they touch, they destroy.
It does seem that more of a hybrid version of most anything seems to work better. Like, it's not as though we're a democratic nation or we're purely a constitutional republic, because we definitely have democratic tendencies. Mm-hmm. And we certainly seem to have some pretty big social programs.
Yeah,
and are socialist leaning. So it just seems like that hybridization is at least what we've managed to work out. But I think if you want to say, well, we're only going to be this particular type of way, you're going to soon meet the confines of that definition, as people will slowly push the boundaries to make you have to back up what you say and say, well, nope. I said no communism, so no socialism. So you guys don't get any Social Security when you retire. No food stamps for those poor kids. Too socialist. But that's kind of the point of the government, is to supply that shit. So now what?
Mm-hmm. Now what?
Yeah, from the shit I was hearing from Venezuelans, for the most part, they seem to be okay with it. But it wasn't just Maduro. The fellow that was before Maduro, he was crooked too. It's been this ongoing thing. It closely relates down to Cuba. It's going to be a whole fucking thing, I think. This is probably just step one. We'll see what BRICS has to say about it. Or see if they're just... I heard them referred to as a paper tiger, which I thought was pretty good. That BRICS as being a paper tiger. That was the whole point of the alliance. It wasn't just oil. I think there was some mutual defense and things like that. So we'll see what BRICS has to say about us coming in here and just deciding that oil should be ours. Or whatever the reason was. I don't know. It's been awfully pessimistic in my mind. The outlook for the future is pretty bleak for me right now. I just don't see anything positive happening. That's not true. Those small hats are sure getting questioned quite a bit.
Yeah, there's been quite a swing in support for Israel in this country over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, and that's bittersweet. I think it's great that we're able to do it, but it sucks because they're not going to allow that shit.
Uh-huh.
They don't give a fuck. And I don't think they would have any sort of guardrails as to what it is they would do to maintain that power. I.e. 9/11.
So Utah banned 3 more books for all public schools. Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. 19 Minutes, not sure what that's about. And The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Join 19 of their other books on the state-sanctioned ban list. I know this is a touchy subject for Walter.
Oh, God, what?
Banning books.
Oh, well, yeah. But I mean,
now,
I don't understand the beginning of that list already. Isn't Wicked like their whole little... I don't even know what it is because I never laid eyes on the shit, but I know that it's out there and my little nieces are all creaming about it, so I figured it must be as cheap oriented as anything out there is. And then what was the other one?
I've never seen one. There was a couple
19
of them.
minutes.
They were
19 minutes.
Yeah.
The Joys of Being
That
a
seems
Wallflower.
familiar.
Something.
Ah, that was the one. Joys of Being a Wallflower. Interesting. Is that like a... I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. It just the title seems like it'd be something they'd want to do. Have everybody be in their little hoodie and quiet and staring in the corner, you know, like they are. So I don't understand why they don't want to have them that way. That's what they've been doing to them for the last fucking 10 years now. Everybody's got mental problems and they're socially awkward and they have to be and do and oh. It's like slap that fucker upside his head and tell him stop acting like a damn idiot. Anyway, I'll stop.
Oh, Walter, did you hear about that Swiss resort bar?
No, I missed that one.
Yep. It burned down, killed 40 people, and injured like 100.
No, I missed that completely.
They thought it'd be a good idea to put sparklers in the champagne.
Yeah, managers are they're opening a criminal case against the managers now. Probably negligence or something like that. The French couple, Jacques and Jessica Moretti, is suspected of manslaughter by negligence, bodily harm by negligence, and arson by negligence. Wow. We had 8 Swiss nationals. From among those killed were the first to be identified on Saturday. Yeah, sparklers on bottles being carried too close to the ceiling. Why would you put a sparkler in your... You know it's going to put all kinds of nasty tasting shit down in your drink, right?
Well, you would think so. That would just be a dumb idea all the way around. It looks cool, though. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. The first article I saw on it was talking about an explosion. So I was thinking somebody bombed a Swiss ski resort.
Right. Well, when you said it, they burned it down. I thought that's what you meant. It was a terrorist thing, not an idiot thing.
That's the way they worded it. The first one I saw, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude! Who'd the Swiss piss off? They're like neutral." I thought. At least they pretend to be neutral. They don't pick sides. Clear and definitive evidence of liquid water, not just ancient ice found on Mars.
Well, there you go.
Let's go, Elon. You found your watering hole. Bye. Who all could he take with him?
Dude, I don't think they got that dude's, even his big phallic rocket wouldn't have made the load. I would have a list for him. Oh, man.
Pentagon will begin the review of effectiveness of women in ground combat positions. Well, shit, I don't even want to hear it. You already know. You've already done all the tests and the drills, and you have all the times of all girls crews, women and men working together, and then an all-men crew. It's not even a contest.
Yeah, couldn't you figure that out with a set of pugil sticks?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they do this at boot camp.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've seen all kinds of videos. Those guys, those Marines don't hold back. They don't care if you're a woman.
Nope, this is classic force doctrine. This is why the idea of women's rights is a joke. Men and women will never be equal because they can never be equal. The only way women can decide that they should be in combat is if they say, hey, men, let us in combat. Which goes for anything. Hey, men, let us vote. Hey, men, let us get a job. Hey, men, we could handle our own credit. Hey, men, let us be equal. I'm going to beg you to be equal with me, because that's how equality works. It comes from somebody higher up than you to tell you, to allow you to be equal until they don't. You're absolutely equal as long as you can't do this one thing that I get to do. I'll maintain that authority, but beyond that, we'll be equal as long as I continue to agree with you that we should. The minute I decide that we're not going to be equal, then we're no longer equal, because equality is the illusion. Sorry. Yeah, David, men don't like women in combat. Men like to win combat. Men like to say, I don't want to die. I'm going to kill you before you kill me. Sending off your women to the front lines ain't going to help that situation. Unless I can think of a time that women have joined together and taken their equality from men. If I had Jeopardy music, I'd play it.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Exactly, never happened.
But Josh, what about Joan of Arc? And the Amazon women.
You don't speak ill about Miss of Arc.
Crazy is as crazy does. That's what I'm always used to say. Or something.
Stupid is as stupid does.
I don't think she was stupid. I just think she was bonkers. Now, I will admit that there are probably very specific, small subset of women that may be effectual at combat. A very small group of women, absolutely. Exceptions to the rule.
Mm-hmm. Always are.
But it seems like there's something about exceptions and rules that go hand in hand. That's right. The exception proves the rule.
This is an exception, not a normal thing.
And again, I would probably even be okay with drafting women into the military, because there's plenty of non-combat roles.
Mm-hmm. Plenty.
If I could take all the fellas out of the kitchen and put the women in there and make the fellas go off and fight where they're in need, that would seem perfectly legitimate.
And with our advancement in technology and all that, it's really the need for so many soldiers to do so many things has been cut down drastically. It's much easier, instead of sending a team of 5 guys over to this village to watch it, to just fly a drone over the village. You know? For days or whatever. We've got the technology now to where we don't need to have so many people out there in the field doing things. So the demand for bodies is not nearly as much as what it used to be back in the day. Man, I don't feel like going to work today. But I will.
Yeah, Ian, we could just say, you know what? We're not going to go fight any wars. We're just going to remain peaceful. We're not going to start any sort of conflict and hope somebody with another Air Force doesn't come and just bomb some military program that we've got. Or decide, you know what? They're not starting any wars, and those dumb fuckers would probably put their women in the front lines anyway. So let's just go ahead and invade them, because they're either not going to fight back or not going to fight back enough to stop us. There's always been people out there who wouldn't, couldn't, can't, or won't fight back. Trouble is, they just don't last very long in the annals of history, because they get wiped out pretty dang quick because they won't fight back.
Yeah, even Jesus said to defend yourself. Didn't he tell everybody to get a Roman sword that's made with the best metal?
I think like that. He said, even if you have to take your plowshares and hammer them into swords, do that.
Yeah, it's better than just laying down. Oh.
Now, would a good martyr fight back?
Martyr.
I would think that the hallmark of a good martyr would be someone who's willing to die for their cause. And thereby does.
Yeah, but they could still die fighting and be a martyr, can't they?
I don't know. That's my question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So,
just sounds like loser cope to me. I wanted to be a martyr, but I decided to fight back, but I lost. And now I'm just
someone who
dead.
Willingly suffers or dies for a deeply held belief. Willingly. Yeah.
See, that's kind of what I thought. You can't fight back.
To willingly suffer. I want to suffer for my beliefs. I don't know about all that. I mean, I'm not going to lie for you, but I also am not going to just lay there and let you poke me with needles and stuff like that either.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I just was reading a little note from Craig there in the chat. Not in the chat, but in the show notes or whatever you call this thing. Apparently he's still dealing with his mom and she's not doing well. So definitely sending some extra love, my brother.
Heck, sure. Much love out to you, Craig, and your whole family. They can find peace and contentment amongst each other.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Russia sends Navy ships to guard oil tanker being pursued by U.S. forces. Oh, shit.
That sounds
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Andy B.
I going to bed pretty, so I'm not going to stick around for too long. But in regards to the women in the military, I would say yes, we need them. And this goes back to Rosie the Riveter. And we can use women in the, back home, doing a lot of that stuff, doing a lot of, the majority of the nurses, so I think 100% of them, before a certain time, were all women. And nowadays, women are still not allowed to join, infantry units, which are or special forces, but they are allowed to serve in the rear.
Well, that's what they're doing now, Andrew.
I was not special.
They're now undergoing testing to see the effectiveness of women in combat, as if they're considering putting women on the front lines.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hugely terrible idea. I would say, okay, how many women that want to do that could firemen carry a 180-pound guy quarter mile, like Forrest Gump?
What you might need to do.
Maybe a 0.5% of them, if that. And also, Russia had tested this out years ago, and they said that what they found in combat scenarios or casualty situations is that men would tend to actually treat the women first because of some sort of a romantic or emotional attachment to the women, because that's what men do. We protect. And women, even though, women can give birth, we can't do that. And the other thing about women in these combat, they can be forced into a combat role if the combat comes to them. Sort of like they're allowed to be fighter pilots. They're allowed to be just pilots in general. That's fine. But if all of a sudden they get put into that situation, then that's just, that wasn't putting them on the front line. That was like serving in the rear. And because I was special operations, not special forces, we had, out of our battalion, we had maybe 30 women in that unit, in that battalion. And half of them couldn't handle it. And they just, some of them actually requested change their job.
And even if we're saying, okay, we know you're not going to be able to fight nearly as effectively, but there's all sorts of frontline things that you could do. You can, deliver shit, all sorts of other things that you could do. The trouble with that is they might get captured by the enemy.
Yeah, and then that's going to be far worse than getting captured or thrown into jail. Oh, yeah.
Because now they're just going to start breeding you out of your own country by impregnating the women that they've captured. Probably forcefully. Which is going to be demoralizing for all those men that have worked alongside those women, too, who just see them now being assaulted and captured and impregnated.
Yeah. I'll take it a step further. There are two other groups of people I do not want in the military. Actually, front lines. Well, actually, transgender, get them out. No military, nothing. Just remove them. Hey, cool. You tried to do your job, but you're distracting everyone, and you're looking for extra benefits. Like some of them I've heard that have joined the military, and then they say, "Oh, I'm actually transgender. You have to pay for my surgery," and the military has done that. That's like $150,000 surgery or something. So that, just get them the fuck out. Gays, I don't have a problem with, as long as they're not trying to flirt with me or anything like that. But it goes back to the old don't ask, don't tell policy. Anyways, then from there, I also would say anyone that is not a naturally born U.S. citizen should not be allowed on frontline positions. They don't care. And I know that because I've worked with a lot of them. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just here to get my citizenship. Because it makes an easy pathway to citizenship. They don't give a shit. There's my opinions, at least. And yeah, I don't really care so much if people get offended by what I say. I say it how it is. And if I'm saying something that's wrong, you can prove me wrong. But here's something interesting. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go on mute, get to bed. Anyways, so it's on space.com, comedy, space comedy. The Trump administration censures former NASA astronaut Mark Kelly over illegal orders video. Okay, so apparently the Trump administration is following through on its threats against former NASA astronaut and current U.S. Senator Kelly. In late November, Kelly, a Democrat in Arizona, and 5 other congressmen who have served in the military participating in a 90-second video reminding U.S. service members not to obey illegal orders. President Donald Trump deemed the videos seditious, saying that such behavior is punishable by death. Mark Kelly's life does not seem to be in danger, but his rank and pension maybe. On Monday, January 6th, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, well, sorry, it's supposed to be Secretary of War now, right? If they made the typo. Announced that his organization is, quote unquote, taking administrative action against Kelly, former Navy fighter pilot, who has 4 space shuttle, no, to say 0 space shuttle missions under his belt. And one thing I looked up is, how can you get someone that has a military pension? There is very few ways to actually take that away from a retired military member. And one of them is treason, because that's basically punishable by death. And even if someone commits first-degree murder, they still don't take away the pension. They still get to have that. And this might be considered treason if he's doing this kind of stuff. See what happens. This little space comedy of the day.
Well, he'd be a great person to make an example of.
Does the UCMJ say you have to follow illegal orders?
No. Unlawful orders, such as if you have someone appointed over you, let's just say like an O3, says, hey, Petty Officer Baker, see that school over there? Here's a grenade launcher. Go blow it up. No? But no, there's terrorists in there. There's also civilians in there.
All right.
That would be collateral damage times 10.
Well,
so no, you can say no.
What if you're the fourth person to ask? The fourth person, this O3 came through and asked you to go through the grenade, shoot that grenade into the window of the schoolroom. First guy he asked also said no, so he shot him in the head. And we moved on to the second guy. He asked the second guy, you shoot that grenade launcher into that school. Second guy says no, so he shoots him in the head. Asked the third guy says, I'm not going to shoot that grenade launcher into school, so bang, he shoots him in the head. Says, okay, Andrew, shoot that grenade launcher into the classroom.
I think I would be within my lawful military, actually probably a requirement to basically arrest him. Like, I'd be like, all right, I got the grenade launcher, get on your fucking face. And that's when I would get out zip ties and be like, yeah, you're going to fucking court-martial, bitch. Yeah, welcome to fucking Fort Leavenworth.
Well, the rest of the platoon is busy firing grenades into that schoolhouse, and then they hear you questioning the orders given to you by their O3. And now they're all turning their grenade launchers on you. Say, what do you mean, no? Arrest who? So now it's going to be you against the rest of the platoon trying to arrest the O3 for giving you an order that you decided you didn't like.
Yeah, unlawful orders would be you're going to be using civilians. If the enemy is using civilians as basically human shields, we can't just go and say, okay, well, doesn't matter, that's the terrorist, but then there's a 12-year-old girl right there that's being used as a meat shield, and you still can't do it. It goes against the Geneva Convention. Fortunately, a lot of civilians, a lot of collateral damage happened in Iraq when I was there, because the policy that I only went and asked some of the artillery guys, I said, why are you guys shooting so many, like these huge, 120 millimeter rounds out into like the city and stuff? So, they're on auto target, because if there was a single rocket or a mortar round comes in from somewhere else, then what our howitzer cannons would do, they would turn and fire a 10-to-1 ratio. So 10 rounds for every one that came into us. And we blew the fuck out of neighborhoods. A lot of people died. They were maybe the quote unquote terrorists died too, or the insurgents is what we're calling them. But yeah, I mean, they would hide in mosques in elementary schools, and they thought that eventually they had to call a stop to it.
That's wild. Yeah, a lot of bad shit happens in war. Not many winners. Shit, it seems like even the guys out there doing the fighting, when they so-called win, they still lose.
A lot of people, fortunately, a lot of young guys, they think that joining the military is going to be like Call of Duty or something. Oh yeah, you can get revived. That's how it works. You can't run, 50 miles an hour and jump up a 12-foot wall while you're carrying however many guns they allow you to carry in those video games. It's not real. A lot of people join thinking that, then realize quickly.
But he dies and gets blown up. Yeah. He doesn't respawn. You don't get to talk to him anymore. That's it.
Well, I don't want to play on permadeath.
Yeah.
What do you mean I only get one?
A lot of video games, they call it hardcore mode. Yeah, you die once, that's it. And there's no healers out there either. You can't just have like a priest, get like spamming a healing spell on you constantly. Well, I took an AK round to the head. That's okay. There's a healer behind me.
Wait, let me roll for defense. Hold on, I got my die here in my pocket. Oh man.
Yeah, how many people
that very
buy
first
video
game out on? I had it on Xbox. I don't know what you guys played it on, but it was that first game that was just one shot, one kill, you're done. What was that one? Was that the first Call of Duties back in the day, or was it something else?
It was something else.
Clancy related
that were like that.
Oh well, no, this was before.
What was that squad-based game? It was
something, yeah. I tried to play it with a buddy, and the first time I got killed and it was done, I couldn't help no more. I'm like, well, what the fuck kind of game is this?
I think Justin, my guess is Justin's going to get this in chat. It was the squad-based military game where you could control all 5 of the guys. Because I had a hard time doing it, too, because I'm like, oh, I've got to, tell them where to go, and then tell them to go, and then tell them how to stop, and there's, this whole fucking thing. And you're like, oh, well.
Door breach this door.
Yeah. Right. It was like.
That was Ghost Recon.
That's what it was. Yep. Ghost Recon.
The very first Tom Clancy. Yep.
I was supposed to say, I knew it was the first of something, and it definitely was fucking hard. And I was just like, I want to go shoot some lasers at some aliens. I'm not doing this.
I still say Tango Down all the time because of that game.
There you go. I know you do.
Tango Down. Nice calm voice.
Yeah, there was another game. I forget what it was called. SOCOM is what.
That was Justin's guess.
SOCOM versus
That's
something else.
Justin's guess. Yep.
They have used special forces to actually help develop the realisticness of some of the games, and I don't know if they're still doing it. I mean, that definitely doesn't exist in Fortnite. There's other games that they're trying to make as realistic as possible. And I know this because when I got promoted to squad leader, I had to take my squad over to this training area where it was a video game. It was a big ass, almost the size of a movie theater screen. And we had our rifles, and you had to attach these special little sensors to them, sort of like laser guns, laser tag or something. Anyways, and then we'd have to we would actually have squad weapons as well, but they all had just blanks in them, and it was an indoor area, and we had to train on how to do that, and it would get more difficult and more difficult as time went on. But if you got shot, then you dead. That's it. We had to start back over, and it was sort of like in that movie, The Day After. One with
Groundhog Day.
Cruise. No. There was another one.
Where you die and he starts his day over again every time.
Yep.
The military one where he's on an aircraft carrier.
Well, he's on it's like aliens are invading, and the whole world is part of it's like the world defense system, and he gets killed in battle by this thing. It happens at the beginning, Walter. No spoilers here.
Chris Conley got it.
But he gets killed in battle.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. I've seen it repeatedly.
Edge of
It's
Tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome show.
Yeah. Good flick.
Very awesome. If people haven't seen it, it's got a really awesome ending. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, the whole movie is awesome.
And see, there's your female fighter right there. She kicked ass.
Walter, did you get a chance to watch Begonia yet?
I haven't. We haven't been doing much TV at all lately.
It's pretty dark.
Where is it?
Fuck, I don't know.
Okay. Let me know. Text me later or something. You ain't got to do it right now. Yeah, we got a ton of shit we got to watch that we haven't watched anything new lately. In fact, we had started something old. Hell, what was it?
Go poop.
Anyway, whatever the old show we'd already watched, just for the brain numbingness of it, because we were just zonked from the whole emotional roller coaster we've been on the last few months. Damn it, what is it that we were watching? I don't know. I'll remember in a minute. But that was a whole lot of our holiday experiences, trying to keep people from spoiling crap for us.
Peacock is where it is.
Cool to write it down.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster ride. Roller coaster ride. I just think you'll like it.
Another good place you can go to in regards to watching free stuff is, well, there's Foot Locker. That's the one that Nemo told me. Then also there's one called 123 Movies, but you have to have a VPN active to actually access it. It says, oh, you don't have a VPN active? They're not going to let you watch it.
Oh, I've been watching Landman.
All right, gentlemen. I'm heading out. I'll be listening on YouTube until I basically have to battle into my...
So I may be wrong, but I believe Happy Corporation Formation Day a bit belatedly, Andrew.
Oh, I saw your text. Yeah, yeah. I don't celebrate my birthday, but yeah.
I thought I remembered that too.
yesterday.
That's why I sent it like I sent it. Just
well, good memory. I had like 40 texts from my student. Here's what happened. I told all my classes. I was like, hey, I'm taking Tuesday off. It's my birthday. I'm gonna spend time with girlfriend and family and stuff. And then about 3:00 in the morning, I wake up and I was feeling like super sick. So I went and drank some water, and I immediately started throwing up. I know this gets a little weird if people don't like hearing about that, but I threw up about 14 times. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't take any medication. As soon as something went into my stomach, it was upchuck time. And
there was
then I started getting migraines.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was something going around because everybody was just getting over it as the holidays approached over here. We didn't get in it because we don't interact with most of them most of the time.
I've never had the flu, and my mom. I even called my mom. Well, she said she called me happy birthday. I was like, oh, not really. What's up? Well, I'm canceling.
Go poop.
I'm canceling for today. I hope you're talking to the dog.
Yeah, I think he might be talking to you. I'm not sure.
It could be to everybody. I think it's just a good rule in general, for the record.
Go poop. Everybody.
Everybody
Right
go
now.
poop.
Go poop.
Oh my God.
Makes you feel better. But yeah,
I really don't have
that was my birthday.
I don't really have that great of a recall, Andrew. Don't be impressed. Usually when I find out somebody's birthday, like here in the show chat or on the YouTube chat or whatever, I try to go to my phone and save it on the calendar, because usually next year it'll let me know a day or two ahead of time, and I'll try to make sure and say, hey. But is this happen to anybody else? Like January 1st, did your phone suddenly start telling you that it was everybody's birthday that was in your contact list? Because that's what happened to Michelle and I's phone. So if you look at the first day of the year now, it shows that that's everybody's birthday that didn't have an actual birthday listed somewhere on my calendar and on her calendar. Same thing, whole different list of people. January 1st, it was their birthday, and it kept sending notifications. It was fucking up our phone, making it stop. Like we'd be doing something, and suddenly it'd throw up 1,800 more. Like literally everybody in our contact list birthday became January 1st that wasn't already assigned a day for their birthday. And I've never seen that before.
Oh, that pissed me off.
It's never happened.
Oh, it did piss us off, both of us, because it kept fucking us while we were trying to do stuff the whole day.
Which phone do you have?
It's the Samsung S24 Ultra.
Yeah, I have an iPhone 15, whatever, and yeah, they're fucking with people right now in regards to the interface on the iPhones right now. It's just like it's changed just to the point where I want to fucking get rid of this phone.
To fuck
Maybe
you
try
up,
something
right?
else.
I love that whole change for change sake thing that they do.
No, I haven't seen that, but I do disable a lot of notifications.
Well, the only reason I even keep my calendar notification on is because it's interlinked through my gym membership thing. And so when I sign up for a class or a swim class or whatever, it tells me the day before, get ready tomorrow. And then the day of, it'll give me like an hour notice or whatever. And that's truly the only reason I keep calendar notifications on. Otherwise, they would be off. I keep most notifications off on my phone, except for just certain people or certain
here's something interesting.
Things I want to know about.
Speaking on that same thing, Walt. So YouTube knows how old I am, and yesterday, Chuck Schumer did a candlelight vigil out in the front of the Capitol building. Even though there was no candles, they were just like holding these fucking glass tubes with LED lights in them. And it was so corny. And he just started ripping into anyone that doesn't believe in January 6th was an actual insurrection. And it was just like, dude, this dude is hyper belligerent, but
okay, wait, what's the definition of insurrection? What is the definition of an insurrection?
I don't know the exact definition word for word, but I know it has something to do with when people go against common law.
But isn't it like to overthrow? Like you're trying to take control, overthrow a city government or something like that. So who does that with zero guns?
Oh,
I mean, really,
one thing he said
going to be throwing around
they were. Yeah,
go ahead.
He said they were beating up people with lead pipes and something else. He said, "Oh yeah, they killed several people." No, they were led by the state Capitol Police. Like they're like, "Oh, that door's locked. Can I get in there?" Yep, it's on security camera. It's like, dude's an idiot. So here's the according to Merriam-Webster, an act or instance of revolting against civil authority or an established government, which has happened a lot throughout history. But it wasn't even an insurrection. It was a tour guide.
That was the most peaceful insurrection ever. And then you have people burning down buildings and the news saying it's a mostly peaceful protest. Yeah, this shit needs to stop. The news needs to go away. I think that would help out things so much. So much. Or bring back the Smith-Mundt Act. So the news has to at least tell the same lies to us. It can't be the exact opposite. Wasn't it nice when they all told the same lies to us? Isn't that horrible when we have to reminisce about the good old days when all the lies were at least the same? Wasn't so obvious they're trying to divide the country. And yet still people don't see it. And TDS goes both ways. The Trump derangement syndrome, the people who think that Trump is their savior are just as delusional as the ones that think that he's Hitler and the devil.
Right.
It don't matter what side you're on. If you're wrapped up in all this insanity, you need to take a step back, take a few breaths, take a few days, maybe a few weeks. Get back to basics. Yeah, I can't wait till this guy's done being president.
And I thought that the military action to take over Greenland was, hyperbole. Just Trump being Trump. Some silly shit he says off the cuff during some press conference. And so everybody just takes it and runs with it and blows it up into something that it's not. Apparently that's not the case. Apparently that was a legitimate thing that they're talking about again. Like, legitimately, people in the U.S. military, people in the United States government say that they're considering using military force to go take over Greenland. Like, what the fuck?
Insanity.
Complete insanity. You got to have European nations come out to say, no, we would defend Greenland against the U.S.
European nations.
That could be one thing if that were just hyperbole and just people just totally taking things and blowing them out of proportion, but that does not seem to be the case. It seems that that's an actual conversation that people in Washington, D.C. are having. What's up, Rico? Much love. I know things were pretty tough for you before, and I knew that they were going to have to get worse before they got better. So I have been thinking about you. It's good to see you there in chat. You have been missed.
You have indeed. And I believe you may have attempted to call me at some point during one of my whatever, I could have been in the room with her. I could have been on the road. I know I saw the call, and then whatever got going on and happening, I forgot to call you back. My apologies.
So what was it? Not last weekend, but weekend before. I went down to my dad's, and Dixie wasn't feeling well. She was pretty sick. What was that? I guess Christmas. We went down Christmas Day. And she thought it might have just been allergies, but when she got home, because she only stayed a couple hours, and I stayed the weekend, but when she got home, she was super sick, like chills, fever, all that good stuff. And apparently there was like 2 types of the flu going around. Neither one, surprise, surprise, were the particular strain that they say they used to make those alleged vaccines for them. So anybody that got their flu shot didn't do any good against either one of these particular strains of the flu. Then there was also a cold going around. And of course you still got the threat of COVID. And then they said there was still yet another like bacterial infection that would mimicked all the symptoms of the flu, but it wasn't the flu, and all this other shit going on. Nobody knows. So the sickness ran through the house, I guess. I was more like a cold than it was a flu. I didn't really feel very bad. I've not really been sick in any particular way for years and years. Then last week, I've been trying to rotate the inventory. So before I tear into the latest care package from Flat Earth Farms, I would try to make sure that everything from the previous care package is gone first. And I thought I'd gotten close, and then I happened to run across this is my life. I happened to run across a couple of ounces of Granddaddy Perp that I had lost on my kitchen table. Moved some old mail, and oh, look, there's some more. Sweet. Better dive into this before I open up them other jars. So I do. Pack me up a nice big old bowl. It's a little dry because it hadn't been in a jar with the humidity pack. So it's a little dry. I hit it. I'm like, that's not very good. Didn't stop me, so I smoked the rest of it. But pretty soon I realized that my tea, because I've been trying to drink less coffee, more tea. My tea didn't taste very good either. My tea, well, it just tasted like hot water. I couldn't taste anything on the GDP. Couldn't taste anything with the tea. And it still, it takes a strong odor. Not necessarily bad, but strong for me to be able to smell it. I'm just not really smelling anything or tasting anything. And I got a little resistance in my lungs. Usually when I'm smoking the Granddaddy Perp and I'm just coughing because of the smoke in my lungs, I know what that feels like. But if I got a little lung congestion, there's a little bit more resistance. It's just a touch more effort to cough when it shouldn't, because I don't really get sick like that. But now there is. I've got a whole lot of nasty phlegm coming up out of my lungs, down out of my nasals. So take
some golden milk.
Probably not a bad idea.
Golden milk. That's the good stuff. We found a lady, like, where were we, man? Oh, they're like Saturday. We were trying to kind of just catch a grip before the madness of what was going to be the trip on Monday. And so we went early, and plus there were other things. We needed to go to the apartment and gather up some photos to make the memorial collage thing. They'd already done the electronic one, but they wanted to make a physical one for the graveside. And so we went to the, damn it, my brain is just not waking up right. Farmer's Market. Damn, my brain. Hello. Anyway, so we went to the Farmer's Market, which has upgraded quite a bit since I had been there last there in Lafayette. It's gotten really kind of big. You have to park way off, walk to it. It's a whole thing now. It didn't used to be that way. But anyway, there's a lady or a couple of people there, the community, I guess you would say, that they grow their own turmeric here in Louisiana in their whatever setup they've got, and they don't just grow normal yellow or orangish yellow or whatever you want to call it. The normal turmeric you'll see like to cook with or in supplements or whatever, the ones that stains your fingers yellow, that stuff. They have what's called black turmeric, which is like 4 times more everything. Like everything that's good in turmeric, it's 4 times as much of it. So I have me a little bottle from them of their turmeric solution. I'm trying to find the card here. It was the, oh man. Well, there was Trevonic, Trey Lively, and Nicole R. Johnson, farmers. So it's those 2 guys. What's the name of it, though? I know they had it on their table. L4sfarms.com there in Lafayette. But on their table, because there are turmeric, in fact, she had a t-shirt on that said, I put turmeric on my turmeric. I'm like, you better give me that shirt. Come on, man, that's awesome, because she didn't have any for sale. Anyway, she was real awesome. Her husband was real awesome. And we noticed these packets. And I looked, and it was golden milk mix in a packet, pre-ready to go. You just pour it in your choice of hot milk, and it's ready to go. And I grabbed a packet, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, wait, does it have ginger in it? And she's like, yeah, it does. You always put ginger in it. I was like, yeah, but I'm allergic to ginger. I can't use it. I always leave it out. And she's like, really? I didn't know it was as effective. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But yeah, there are now people who are making up little packets of golden milk solution or golden milk mix or whatever you want to call it. Kind of like, here's some hot chocolate. No, here's some turmeric. Here's some golden milk. So I don't know if they'll ship it to you or what, but I definitely can reach out because she wants me to reach back out and let her know how this works for me. And she's also going to truly try to find a way to get some shirts made up because I was probably the third or fourth person that asked her to sell her shirt. So I'm excited. But yeah, definitely I'll see if she does that, if they mail it out. I can't imagine why they wouldn't, But she gave me a little dropper of she dropped some on a spoon, I guess is a better description of what she did. And I tried it that day, and it definitely was nice, tasty. I was expecting it to be a bitter, whatever, but it's got a nice little taste to it, actually. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
It's definitely she's got the pepper in it. She was impressed with my knowledge too when I started throwing down like what I do and how long I've been doing it and how I, what I do it with and all that. He was definitely, I've got a new turmeric buddy. Hey, Mama, you come and see me already? You got here early. Rizzo's here. Let me see if I can get my camera on. Yeah, you guys haven't had kitty cam in a while now. Is that her? I did it. It's a Mama. Hey, Rizzo. Hey, Rizzo. Oh, she's snipping the turmeric. Yeah, what is that? Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Say hey. She's not looking up. You're busy nosing around all this new stuff I have on my table. There you go. The butt shot. Everybody's favorite. Hey, sweetie. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. You miss Daddy? I missed you too. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. They were a little upset when we left them all day Sunday or Monday, whatever day that was. It wasn't all day. I fed them that morning, but it was very late before we got back and fed them again. They were missing that Daddy. Yeah. All right, there's your butt enough. If you're not going to turn around, come on. There you go. Come over here. There we go. There's that pretty girl. Look. There you go. Look. Look up here. There you go. Pretty girl. My troublemaker. Yeah, my troublemaker. Because you made all this other trouble I'm dealing with here with these 12 cats. Well, not all 12 of them, but 7 of them. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So, I don't know, what time is it? I was debating on getting into this or not today. It's a bit heavy-handed, but it's been on my mind, of course, being, dealing with the mother-in-law and knowing that she probably wasn't going to be around much longer. And then when it was definite that she wasn't going to be around much longer, it really started to kind of, I do this every time I'm close to someone who's about to pass. I did it with my mom, where I do a lot of extra protection rituals and things that I've acquired over my years of dealing with these entities. And it made me really because I was able to have the conversations I needed to have with Mom, somewhat with my dad, not as much, but somewhat. Just re-emphasizing that you don't have to be guilty or feel bad or fix anything you left behind here. We're going to be great. We're going to be phenomenal. And you've made us able to deal with this world in a way that, you don't have to worry about leaving us here and what's going to happen and all that. You raised us right. All the stuff I needed to let her know about. And I even got a little deeper into the light tunnel and the, don't have to go there if you don't want to. Now, this is all for you to do what you want to do, but definitely you don't have to do anything just because that's what your dad taught you as a preacher, or that's what you learned over these years, or that's what you believed since you were a kid. It can all be what you want it to be. If you want to go hang out with that light, then go, but you don't have to. And it's definitely not my preference. And so, you know, all that. But in the learning of these things over the life that I've led and the dealings with these entities that I've had, hey, baby, sorry, I just got reached upon to pet. I was talking and she put her paw up on my shoulder. Hey, sweetie, you know Daddy's talking about them boogers? Yeah, you get them too, huh? You get them boogers too? Yeah. So I went and did a little digging. And while I haven't been able to jailbreak it fully, my AI that I use, which is called Perplexity, it came with my phone. They gave me a year subscription to the pro version of Perplexity with this new phone. And I had already, you know, seen a few people online do some interesting discussions with their version of whatever AI they were using. So I decided to see if I could get around some of the typical crap that gets handed to you from the, you know, approved listing of shit they can talk about in their little AI world. And so I managed to finally talk around it and get it to really go deep on things like the archons and what happens when we die and things like that. And not only did I get it to go deep, it asked me if I would like it to map some of these Gnostic ideas into modern equivalency. And I'm like, okay, sure. And so it did. And basically what it did was it kind of all turned it into computery code jargon, almost matrix related type jargon. So that also kind of helped, you know, with some of the stranger aspects of this. But essentially it goes into, you know, the monad, which is the source, the true us that we are out back, you know, where we came from, the us, the one, the original source. You call it God. I don't anymore, but some people do. But basically, it goes into the thoughts here of the fact that the monad was the ultimate source of all of this. Like it's the source. It's what decided that it needed to separate itself out into all these infinite parts to learn and change and interact, because it's, you know, where it is, it's it. It's it. I'm it. I got to have something to do. And so let's create this whole little playground. And so it did. But in that creation, which monad is Greek for the one. That's what that word means, in case you didn't know. The indescribable, the invisible, the source of everything that exists beyond form, beyond gender, beyond personality or imitations or limitations. So it's unbegotten, it's incorruptible, it dwells in pure light. It's the ultimate unity from which all spiritual realms and divine beings emanate. The name they use for those spiritual realms is Aroma, which I had never heard before, but that's essentially like the next step down from the ultimate Godhead. And so in that layer of things, there was this, what would be called a god or goddess that was called Sophia. And Aeon, that's what she was. I'm sorry, she wasn't a goddess, she was an Aeon. She was the wisdom goddess. And because she kind of used her mind powers in a little bit more sophisticated way, being the goddess of wisdom, she started having the big head and started trying to act outside of the harmony of the pleroma and the world, kind of, again, like the monad did, just wanted to do something different than the same old thing every day. And so she decided she would generate on her own, without any male help or any kind of, you know, actual conjoining. She would create a being of her own offspring, basically, I guess, kind of cloning herself, if you will. And so this offspring is the demiurge, is Yaldabaoth, that is who we consider the Dark One, Satan, Devil, whatever different names have been bestowed, which are usually incorrect, upon this creature, this being. But he was definitely flawed, and he was definitely, because she hid away her doings to make this happen, he was hidden away from the layers above him. He was hidden away in like a cloud of his own. So that actually made him, being flawed and not having the full knowledge of the monad or the pleroma or any of the layers above him, he thought he was it. He thought he was the only God and the one above all and the best. He was it. I'm it. I'm God. I'm the king of it all. I don't see anything else around me. I got to be, right? And so he decided, because he was, powerful and arrogant and blind to the higher realms, that he would create a place to play. And so he creates humans and the physical world and most of the realm that we all exist in. But he also wanted to keep us all ignorant of our divine spark by limiting that knowledge. I'm sorry, I've lost my little spot here. I was kind of scrolling through and trying to sum some of this up because it's quite a lengthy read that I have here. Where is it? So he declared, I am God, there is no other, because he didn't know his own origins from above there in the pleroma. So he created humans, the physical world, keeping souls ignorant, etc. One of the things he created to help in that, to kind of rule over the humans, were the archons, which is also a Greek word for ruler. And they're basically the physical, or the administrators of this physical realm under the demiurge's authority. They're usually associated with gatekeepers who block souls from escaping this material realm back to source, back to the pleroma. And in the Gnostic texts, they're often depicted as androgynous beings with beast-like faces, symbols of chaos. They are a mixture of a divine spark and the demiurge's flawed being. They personify ignorance, arrogance, the spiritual matrix that conditions human thoughts, desires, social systems to keep people distracted from gnosis, from direct knowledge of the monad. And so, it basically talks about their, the whole soul-keeping, light, tunnel, that whole thing. Most of this comes from the Apocrypha of John, by the way. I didn't mention that yet. I apologize. But in the Apocrypha of John, it tells basically the story of how this hidden source became flawed. The simulation is run by a fake god, the demiurge, and is enforced by the agents, which are the archons. And that's to prevent souls from waking up and escaping this realm. And it basically starts with, where is it? I just scrolled too far. In John speaking to Christ after the crucifixion, after he rose, this is when a lot of this was delivered, allegedly, to John. And he started explaining the layers of this reality and how the idea is that salvation requires understanding of that system, of those layers, not just believing it, but understanding it. And so he describes it all to John. And he starts, of course, with the monad and the pure light and everything there. The pleroma, the fullness. So this is when it asked me if I wanted it to modernize it a bit, and it starts talking with the matrix. So it gets a little weird here. But basically, the Sophia's error was when she tried to generate her own offspring without any male consort and without any participation of the monad, which broke the pattern of the perfect co-creation that was happening at the time. And so the demiurge was an incomplete, lion-headed, serpent-bodied being. Serpent-bodied, interesting. So basically it just goes, I'm trying to scroll down here to the end of all this, because it really just gets more into the details, like how Eden was essentially a controlled sandbox area where Adam was created by the demiurge to try to he's trying to suck the divine spark out of these beings by using all these control systems. But by doing that, he unintentionally open sourced part of his own higher origin energy and made us into these beings that can actually eventually outgrow this whole system. And that's where he kind of fucked himself up. And so get through some of this other stuff here. So in this version of things, the Adam and Eve and serpent story is basically that the serpent was kind of like a virus sent into the system to try to wake up Adam and Eve in knowledge and in wisdom and in knowing who they really are in relation to the monad and to the origin of humanity. Because that's what he was trying to do by creating Adam in the first place, was try to pull the light out of him. By doing that, he accidentally formed Eve, and then Eve has actually been sent in by Sophia to, again, wake up the system with this tree of knowledge, not make us fall and become, what the story has been given to us, not the fall being reinterpreted the fall being reinterpreted as the first successful hack of this place. So humans became critically aware of the area and their awareness of the area we're in, rather than remaining the obedient cattle that the demiurge wanted. So then the next idea he started was to launch reproduction and embed a counterfeit spirit in humans, which is basically a psychic overlay, which keeps us deceived, keeps us attached to ignorant things, passions, emotions, all the things that keeps us in this realm with that whole guilt trip of like, oh, I broke Grandma Nooney's cookie jar. I better go back and glue that back together. And of course, they use, all the social structures, the violence, the confusion, all this stuff. So most people just die without having any idea of their true origin or what they can do, what they're capable of, and all that. And it basically breaks it down into the idea of what, believe it or not, was given to us in a fucking kids cartoon back in the 80s. If you haven't seen The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, please go watch it on your Putlocker or your whatever, because in a little segment about Captain, what was his name? Captain whoever was trying to go to Halley's Comet, but instead he died. And he went to heaven, but he went to the wrong heaven. And the heaven was this weird alien heaven with all these aliens with different little eyes and stuff, and they all were having sex, and he definitely wanted to go to that heaven. And as he goes to his correct heaven, they open the doors, the little angels do, and it's complete darkness in that little room he goes into. Not lit up, not a big tunnel of light, none of that. It was darkness. And they do this, they shush with their little fingers over their mouth, where we've seen that symbol before, and tell him to go quietly into that darkness. And that's essentially what this all breaks down to, is to ignore that tunnel of light, to know who you are, to secure that knowledge prior to your death. It's basically like a routine you kind of want to practice on, assuring who you are, that you are of the monad and you are from that, not from the demiurge. Oh, come on, baby. Somebody's here now and she's stepping on everything. What have you done? You stepped on my phone and the computer, so now I'm completely messed up. But anyway, it's basically kind of what we've all sussed out here over this last 9-10 years, is that, yeah, fuck that tunnel of light. I'm going to the darkness. I'm going back to source. I'm going home. It is not your fucking tunnel of light. All right. Walt's rant of gnosis over for the day. Come on, Cleo, quit. Now she's eating my napkin. I had my my banana bread wrapped in. Quit, psycho. You want to say hey? You want to say hey? Hey, crazy. Hey, crazy. I'm trying to get back to the chat. I know I saw y'all typing away there. Oops, sorry. No, you can't have the napkin, crazy. No, Dooney. No, Dooney. What? Cats judge humans? Yeah, there you go. I saw a video go by where it was talking about how cats aren't pets, that they're basically the rulers of this realm, and they've tricked us all into being their feeders and poop scoopers. It was pretty funny. I'll see if I can find it and send it to y'all. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Now she's eating my pins. Come on, Cleo. Why are you in a chewy mood today? My goodness. Crazy girl.
Well, fuck everything and run.
Oh. Wait, I'm so lost. I see something about Viet Cong coffee. All right, I bet Piney might be a little bit behind.
From the rolling hills of northern Vietnam.
Yes, I'm aware of your butt. Thank you. Thank you. You're such a sweetie. You're such a sweetie. You are. Goodness. I'll send I have a way to like summarize this thing, and I can email it out, and at the end it basically has a nice little practice routine, if you will, that you can go through to rehearse your sequence at the end there and be ready, because of course they're going to bombard you with all your little pets that got run over, and Grandma Tootie, she'll be there, and Aunt Nan and Uncle Boo, he'll be there. They'll all be welcoming you home. Oh, would you stop eating everything? Why are you so chewy this morning? Why are you so chewy? You're not a Wookiee. You're not a Wookiee.
How's band practice been going, Walt?
I mean,
weren't you supposed to go perform in New Orleans or something?
Yeah, I really got into like watching the other concerts that they had done.
Uh-oh.
And there was one song in the whole thing that I cared about, and then they finally had sent out like a list of music that they wanted us to start practicing, learning, and all that, and there were no songs on there that I cared anything about ever learning or playing in front of people. And then I went to a site where people that had experienced this thing kind of reviewed it, and it was a wild roller coaster, from awesome, most amazing thing I've ever done to like, yeah, what a fucking joke. So I kind of blew it off. Plus, I mean, with what's been going on over this last 2 months with Maryland, it's really been obviously hard to do anything outside of taking care of Michelle, trying to take care of Mom best as I could, and just keep things from going completely off the rails, because, you know, Michelle helps me considerably in my life with my myasthenia gravis and my just, you know, support system. And so me having to turn it back around, which I haven't had to do in quite a while, basically for over a year now, I've been dealing with my own crap, trying to work out my health and figure out what to do with it. And she's been there supporting me the whole way. So I had to kind of turn that around. And it's really distracted me a lot from everything that I normally do. I was working on a song. I haven't even touched it since that all started. The only thing I did do musically over this period that I was kind of cool with, I went to this, I didn't go to it. I participated in this event they had recently back in October, where this guy who I had gotten a few DVDs and books from over the years, he offers this whole like array of guitar courses from like, here's your bridge, here's your pickup, that level to freaking crazy sweet picking nuts job, Yngwie Malmsteen-y, just nuts, crazy guitar stuff. And while I can play guitar, I've never learned theory at all. Even when I sang and had to read music, or when I played in band and had to read music, I simply was reading the music. I wasn't understanding how the music was put together, why the charts meant what they meant, what the time signature really meant, what the key signature really meant, all that stuff. And when you apply that to the guitar, it's a whole different world. Because on most instruments, there's only one way to play an A, or there's only one way to play an E or F sharp or whatever. But on the guitar, there's 15, of every note. So it's a whole different kind of mental thing. And so I decided after the event that I participated in, which was kind of cool, we all became part of the largest live online guitar lesson at that time, which was back in October. He kept adding people to the wall as we all would jump in the call. And at the point of it being, I think, 500 people, that was what he was trying to get in there. And the lady from Guinness came out and gave him the plaque and explained to all of us how we could get our plaque for being participants in this world record event. And because we helped good old Charlie break that world record, he gave us all one of his lessons for free, which are, probably 30 or 40 bucks or whatever. Individual lessons. If you do the whole thing, it's a lot more expensive. But if just one lesson, he gave it to us all for free. And basically, it was all about speed, dexterity, and synchronization, which I'm decent at. But once I get up to certain speeds, it all kind of falls apart. And so that's what I had been also working on. Like, that was kind of my breakaway and get some like mental relief from all the craziness, was just come in here, put on my little guitar amp, my little practice amp, get my metronome going, increase it by 2. That's what we did every day. And so for 66 days, interesting number, huh? But it just happened to be the day that we started was 66 days away from New Year's. So by New Year's, we were going to be transformed guitar players. And truly, to do these crazy finger manipulating, crazy, weird scale exercises, at first, I couldn't even do them. Like, they were nuts, because it wasn't just simple running a scale. It was all kind of finger manipulations and independence and all this stuff. And so, yeah, I went from like starting that stuff, which I thought, oh, I got this. I know how to do these things. Yeah, well, do it to a metronome. Then you realize how how off the beat you are and how out of sync you are. And so I basically had to back myself down from what I assumed I could do, 80, 90, 100. Oh, I got this. I started actually realizing that my actual skill set at that stuff was around 50 beats per minute, which is pretty sad. But when I finished, I was at 110. So I've increased quite a bit. And because of that, I've really, I've dedicated myself to not missing a day of practice ever again, even if I'm feeling bad, even if I'm exhausted, even if I have to take a nap and do it when I get up then or whatever. I'm not going to miss a day of practice, basically, for the rest of my life. So it's been a nice little time with my guitar that I've had. If you guys are interested at all, I'll drop a link to the people in the course. They're really good folks. There's 4 little instructors that we've had do these live, and that's the other thing. We do these live lessons on Sundays, where we kind of all go over the routine for the week together. And then, because we're on a Zoom call, they would call people up on camera, unmute them, let them actually go through these different exercises and critique where improvement could be made. And so because we use Zoom, all my stuff was there when I opened the call. So there's Flat Earth Head, Walt Flat Earth Head. There's my show logo with my guitar and my Flat Earth Head Prods logo. There's all that. So my name is Walt Flat Earth Head on the screen. So needless to say, the third person was like, man, I can't not call this guy Walt Flat Earth Head. You got to use that for a band name, man, all this stuff, So I got critiqued. It was kind of crazy. Nerves hit, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't played in front of anybody like this and like ever, it feels like. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's been a very nice, very good, like focused. It's one thing to be able to have access to YouTube, and like when I was a kid, if I'd had YouTube, I'd be a whole different guitar player now. But that being said, when there's a million options of where to go and who to watch and do this, do that, try this, try that. It's like, where do you really start and where do you really focus and what do you need to work on for you? Unless you're a really intuitive guitar player, that's hard for you to work out on your own. So having them actually call you up and go, oh, well, your finger is here and you need to do this different at the bridge and whatever. It was really informative and cool. And they're, like I said, they're really, they've been very earnest and genuine people. And when you go watch like their live shows they've done or the live lessons and stuff, they just really good energy from them. And so I'm probably going to stick with them for a little bit. At least till I think I'm the shit and then I can quit, right? Be a millionaire playing guitar. Ain't that how it works? What are you doing? Did you sit down? You was doing good sitting down. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. There you go. That's a good girl. She can't stand it. She's got to dig. I guess if it has so much shit here on the table, she wouldn't dig around so much in it. It doesn't matter how often I clean this area, it winds up just as messy again a couple of days later. Because it's just the throwdown spot around my computer area. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna put this here for now. I always say 3 months later. Here comes another cat.
Popular this morning.
I know. They've been very aware of the emotional turmoil going on with me and Michelle. Trust me. Like some of these cats have never sat in Michelle's lap. They'll come to her. They'll let them pet her. They'll sit on the armchair, the arm of the chair next to her, or the arm of the couch, or whatever, and stay there all day. And even Claire will get on her chest and on her, in the bed when we're letting her sleep with us. But they're not really lap cats for her like she was hoping they would be. And I told her it's all about where she sits and how she sits with them and all that. But they know and they knew, and they were definitely climbing up in her lap to give her some comfort over this last couple of weeks. It's been crazy to watch how they've helped us through this. They are super aware of your emotional state. If you didn't know it, they know. Without a doubt. That's right, Ian. Is baby kitties are the best. They're definitely the best. Yeah, you're right. They missed the camera time. That's what it was. You like being a star? Huh? Come on, Claire. I see you over there. Come on. Hey, baby. Yeah, she's over behind the monitor. I don't think she's coming this way because she sees Cleo laying here. She doesn't want conflict.
Yeah, you are already sounding better, Walter.
Oh, I feel better just hanging out with you guys. You don't even have a clue.
Like 180 difference from how you sounded this morning when I first heard your talk.
Well, man, you guys give me energy. Y'all just don't know. And as many times as I said to myself, man, I should just hop on a call with Josh and Zack if I can't at least do a show with them. I knew you were working. I knew Josh was working. I didn't know Josh was sick, but that would have been also an issue with it, And I just never had the time to sit still here long enough to do that because those 15, 20-minute little practice, and that's what it is. You do 15, 30 minutes, and then you stop and you it's all about like this whole neuroplasticity thing that he's all about. You pattern interrupt, they call it, and it's a whole thing. So once I would get away from it, I would just be away from the computer. I hadn't played. I think I hopped in with Fletch and played with Fletch, with Carl about 2 weeks ago, maybe, right before Christmas or something like that. We played a little bit, trying to figure out how to get my sound right so I could talk to him on the game on Fortnite, because I haven't played and talked with people, since all of us were playing together. And because Paul and Amanda and them kind of got burnt out on it and quit playing. And as I explained to them, you just give it a week and come back. It'll be a different game. And it is, literally, every time you come back. So he and I played. Paul, my brother, and played with me for a little bit one day too. But yeah, definitely not much time to just sit and chill on the computer. Yep, Jax, that's been me too. I've had cats off and on my whole life. And, there was a big, probably 10-year gap where I didn't have pets at all. But before that, I had cats most of my life. My sister was the dog person, and she would have a dog that was her dog that she took care of, and we would all love on it. It was a nice dog. I didn't dislike the dog, but it wasn't like my cats that were like my cats, and they were on me, and I loved them and all that. And I thought at that point, I really knew cats. But truly, in this last experience with all these cats, man, it's been a learning experience, finding out about how they are and their different personality. Because usually it was like, if we had a litter, we would try to get rid of them. I mean, we'd keep one, and we'd have the parent and the one kitten and that kind of thing. I never had more than 3 cats in my house at once, ever, Now, I not only have 12, but I'm really considering becoming a part of this whole cat release and neuter and all that system here in my little local area, because I see the need here bad. Like, I see a bunch of cats that are just out and about, making more cats, starving themselves, And so I definitely want to help that situation. Right, Dewan? Well, look, trust me, I have 12, and they are all utterly, completely different people. Like, totally individuals. Uh-oh, what happened, dog?
I think she got some charging port issues.
Oh, yeah, definitely a can of air would help that. I dug a big old lint ball out of mine not too many weeks ago. Or no, that was out of the little speaker hole that I saw a big lint ball in. I dug it out of, and I thought, man, I'm glad that wasn't in my charge hole. Apparently Piney has a possum in his life now. Hey, dude, I had a pet possum for about 2 years. And let me think. So we were going to Lollapalooza, and my mom had to keep him. So that would have been like early to mid-90s that we had a possum that I kept and raised from like a little tiny rat or mouse-sized thing. His mom got run over in my buddy's neighborhood, and he saw the baby and brought it to my house because he knew at that point the lady I was dating, who became my wife, she had 2 cats, so he knew we were pet people. They brought it to us, and so we raised him and called him Rat because that's what he looked like. And I would carry him around in I used to wear a lot of like not Hawaiian shirts, but more like, what do you call it? Like really bowling shirt. There's a word for it. Where the shirt's flat at the bottom, you don't tuck it in. There's a camp shirt. Is that what it's called? Anyway, I used to wear a lot of those that had an upper pocket, and that's where he would stay, and he would go with me everywhere I went. Every restaurant I went in, every event. Like, if my son had a karate tournament or they had a game or whatever, I was there with Rat, showing him to all the people, and they were all paying attention to my Rat, not the game or whatever. So, yeah, possums rock.
Can't get rabies, interestingly enough.
So why didn't Rico go live on New Year's like he said?
I don't know.
I was sitting in this chat waiting.
He was in the
Rico.
chat, but I don't think he's there anymore. I think he was having some connection issues, perhaps.
I think the drama has probably started to kick off over there a little bit, would be my guess.
Yeah.
So I think he, especially on that night, I can imagine things changing direction kind of quickly, as is my experience on a New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. I'm clicking on the thing.
We come down to, we only got about 9 minutes left.
Oh, hell. Man, it flew by today. For me, anyway.
Just filling out some morning forms. Fun. It's really not bad with all the computerized stuff nowadays. Most of it's all done on my phone. Just hitting a couple of buttons. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's been a learning experience for sure. They're telling me I'm a pretty good teammate. People don't mind working for me.
Very awesome.
Well, that's good.
I'm pretty easy to get along with, though. Yeah. Just wear your shit like you're supposed to. Don't let the guys in the company, the electric company, see you were standing there looking at your phone the whole time. And just show up on time. That's all I require. Don't get hit. I really don't want to be filling out that kind of paperwork. But yeah, besides that, it's pretty. I mean, I am being taken care of very well. Being a new guy, I get a lot of the easy jobs. Yeah, they've been doing this a long time. They know.
Here, back of the camera. All right, there's Claire down there on the box. You can see her behind the tail back there. She just won't come up here because Cleo's up here. She's the one that usually sleeps with us down there. You can't really see, but she's the calico one. It's just hard to see in the dark down there. But she is definitely the queen of this house, she thinks, because she gets to sleep with mom and dad. Nobody else does. Well, they do occasionally, but they don't really like it as much as she does.
Yeah.
She's able to ride the wild waves of me and Michelle tossing and turning all night in the bed quite adequately. The rest of them, as soon as, like one time I'm like, move, I got to turn over, they're off the bed and waiting to get at the door and meowing to get out. And they're like, yeah, we're done with this. We're out of here. She rides it out and stays.
This level is full. Yes, I have an emburst card.
Oh, wow. I see someone left a cat behind. Yeah, that's one of my outdoor cats, is the one my neighbors left here with me when they moved. And what's funny is there's a new family back there now, and they have a ton of animals. I've told you guys about them before. And I was talking to them last night or the night before, and they were saying that she always, like, especially when it's cold, when they come out, like, to do anything, take trash out or just come outside and smoke or whatever they're doing, she comes up and starts trying to, meow and walks towards the door. It's like, let me in, bitch, it's cold. Which she doesn't have to do that because I have a heater outside on that outer room that they are quite warm when it's cold outside, that she can come in and go like she wants to, but that's her house and she misses it, And they told me that she's more than welcome to come in, but once they go towards her or actually open the door, that she don't ever go in. So they've tried to let her in. She probably smells the menagerie of animals in there. Don't want to enter that realm. I mean, they've got 2 or 3 cats in there. They got a couple of dogs. There's the baby goat. There's the birds. I think there might be a new kitten they had to acquire to get rid of some pot-bellied pigs they couldn't bring. So there's quite a few animals in there already. You found your cat trap? You found your cat trap? Oh, did y'all hear that?
Oh, what was that?
Okay. I didn't know if y'all would hear it or not. That's our other new neighbor. Right next door.
You got another loud one?
He's got a loud truck, but the first night I met him, he apologized for the loudness of his truck. And I'm like, oh, well, you're going to be a cool dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool dude.
So far he has been. I mean, he has, he's had some people come and go and no loudness, no craziness, just at this time of the morning cranking up that truck. And he said, yeah, man, I go to work early. I'm like, well, the last people that lived here, right, the other 2 people ago, before the older gentleman moved in, there was a young crew here that definitely didn't have any respect for anybody in the morning because, I get it. Your car is older. You need to warm it up a little bit, but you don't start a car and immediately start revving the engine. That's bad for it. You need the oil to get up in the gears and all that shit. They don't do that. They just start revving. So, yeah. At 5 in the morning, not 6. That one, I think we all used to enjoy together when he would crank up, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while ago. It's probably been 2 years ago now. But yeah, he seems really cool, really, and he was cool with the cat. I told him, I said, man, the cats spend their time over in your yard because there's trees, there's things to hunt. They'll probably leave you a couple of gifts on your steps because they definitely leave them for me outside. But you won't have any mice in your house, without a doubt. So he said, oh, man, I love them. So he's very cool. Wow. Well, we did this thing, I guess. Man, it's so good seeing you guys again. Unless something crazy happens, I should be back into my normal routine with you guys. I'm definitely catching back up on my sleep and my energy reserves, trying to get them restored a bit. So, Dawn, I don't think I ever typed your name, so I'm just going to say it. Dawn!
Dawn!
With exclamation marks. And anybody else I missed, I will get you eventually next week. I mean, no, Friday. This is not Friday. It feels like Friday to me because it's like, yay! So I'll see y'all Friday for sure.
All you going out there to work, have a great day at work. Have a great day, Brian. Don't work too hard,
Absolutely. Man. Yeah, y'all stay safe. Love y'all a lot.
Yeah, love y'all.
Yeah, love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. It is hump day. And I'm already dragging ass, and I'm not entirely sure why, but there you go. No play. So hopefully we'll be back here on Friday morning where I'm not quite so tired. Yeah, hopefully it's not the Rona, Justin. Hopefully.
No Rona for you.
But we do love you guys. Have yourselves a great rest of the week, and we'll see you then. In the meantime, be good, be well. Do good. Do it well. We love you. Bye-bye.
Laura! I just saw Laura.